everybody, it's Jamie from Play-Doh Preschool. Happy Monday. I hope you had an awesome weekend and that you're starting to feel a little bit of the spring weather or fall, I guess, if you're in the southern hemisphere. I am got my fingers crossed that our snow is melting and we're ready for spring here in Virginia. On Friday, we had a surprise visit from our state licensing inspector. This happens a few times a year. I'm a state licensed home daycare, and so the inspector pops in a couple of times a year to go through the state standards and make sure that I'm keeping everybody safe and healthy. And no matter how many times I've had a state inspector come, so I've been open for about 12 or so years, and they come a few times a year. So this is probably like my 30th visit, right? Always unannounced. And I never have real violations. You know, I'm doing a pretty good job, right? And I still, as soon as the inspector walks in, my stomach kind of gets like a little knot in it, like I'm like a little kid in the principal's bench. I don't know if that happens to you. The inspection, of course, went fine, but it got me to thinking about what impresses people first, or what do people notice first when they come into the classroom? Like, what is the most important thing? So when somebody walks in, we actually had a new inspector on Friday, so this was her first visit at all to the classroom. And it really got me thinking, what is the most important factor when somebody just comes into your classroom to decide if this is a quality learning environment or not? And so I'd like to pose that question to you, and then I'm going to kind of go through my thought process about what is the most important thing we do with our kids each day. When the state licensing inspector comes into your classroom, what is the most important thing? Is she looking for, low grade class size, low ratios? You've got this beautiful space, it's well organized. Is she looking at your lesson plan book thinking, oh, these are the most detailed, standard-based objectives with accommodations for all of the different learning styles and differentiated activities for, different ages or different, what is she looking at to decide if this is a quality program? When you have an open house and families come in for the first time and they have their little ones, a lot of times they're so nervous or they've got a little bit of anxiety, maybe some separation anxiety, and they've got questions for you. What do they notice first? Are they looking at, the art? They're like, oh, that's fantastic process art on your walls. Are they asking, about your phonics instruction and how you're getting the kids ready for kindergarten? And, will they be reading by the time they leave your classroom? Are they just really soaking in the beautiful learning environment and thinking to themselves, wow, these centers are so organized and abundant supplies, everything is labeled so nicely. And then the question, which is, I think, more important, what about our own students? When our preschoolers go home at the end of the day, what sticks with them? What is it that they remember about the day? Or a week later, what is it that they remember about their time in our classroom? Are they thinking, wow, Miss Jamie, those lessons were so thematic and they were really driven by my own natural interests? Or, gosh, Mom, the organic homemade snack really hit the spot. There's quite a variety of books in our classroom library. Is that what's sticking with them? And my argument is that while all of those things are important, low ratios, beautiful space, organization, great lesson plans and centers, good snack, healthy food, those are all important, but they are not the most important thing. All of those things that I mentioned, those all definitely add up to quality. But there is one factor, in my opinion, that automatically decides whether a preschool is excellent or it's not. One thing that we can control that costs no money. One thing that changes a preschool from being okay to being exceptional. One thing that puts a preschool into a category of that is an exceptional learning environment. One thing that stays with people after they leave the room. One thing that stays in our preschoolers' hearts after they graduate go on to kindergarten and continue on through school, one thing that they were going to remember about preschool, from having my own teenagers who have been through my preschool program, I know that they are not going to remember that great math center I had set up. They are not even going to remember those awesome dramatic play, setups that I had in the kitchen. The thing that sticks with them, the only thing that truly matters, in my opinion, when we're measuring quality in a preschool program, oh, you beat me to it, Wanda, is our relationship. The one thing is our relationship, the relationship that we have with our children. The way we speak to our kids, down on their eye level, with a gentle touch on their elbow, on their shoulder, or holding them on their lap, using a soft voice. The way we listen to our kids when they talk, making eye contact, no distractions, asking questions about what they're saying, smiling and nodding and really showing interest in what they're saying. The way we relate to our kids. Do we know their siblings' names? Do we know that they have a birthday coming up? Do we know that their pet died over the weekend? The way that we relate to those kids, the way we can genuinely care for them and meet their needs as humans, not as learners, but just as human beings, that relationship between the teacher and the child transcends every other thing we do in our classroom. It really does. I think sometimes as teachers we get into this place where we argue, should we be doing whole language, or, no, letter of the week is better, or, they should just figure it out, they'll learn it naturally. We can even argue, which is better? Is it better to have teacher direction, or that the ideas should be student-led? We can argue the students need to do crafts, or they should be better with process art. We can say, we should plan our year out with themes, or no, we should just follow the interests of the students. And all of those arguments are truly secondary to the more important thing. And the more important thing is our relationship with those kids. I think you could have a teacher who does letter of the week, who's doing crafts every day, who's got her kids on a timer through their centers, and she has so much love for those students, and she is down on their level, looking at them, listening to them, loving on them, caring for them. And that, to me, is better than a teacher or a classroom where everything is best practice, right? Where the latest research and brain development, everything is best practice, but the teacher is cold or uncaring, or the teacher, the child is talking and the teacher, kind of giving them a half listen, or not really interested in what they're saying. And in my opinion, I would rather send my own child to a classroom where the teacher maybe doesn't use the most up-to-date, research in terms of best practices in the classroom, but that teacher is so nurturing and warm and caring toward my child. I would send my child to that classroom 10 times before I'd send it to a classroom where everything is beautiful and regio and child-directed, but the teacher is cold or doesn't get down and really want to know my child. In my opinion, the relationship transcends every single thing that we do in the classroom. Relationship is the key. When we treat our students with love, everything else falls into place. So that is my Motivational Monday speech. I'll shoot my little soapbox I get on when Gemma's not here on Mondays. Brittany, I think it's Brittany, Brianna, I can't remember. There's a quick question that went by. How do we show that to our students or to our parents when they're trying to do to see the program? And the thing that I like to do at open houses is I'll do a quick introduction with the parents, and I'll just say, can I have a few minutes to play with your child? You can look around and let me play with your child for a little bit. And I really do just want to try to establish that connection, that relationship with the child. While the parents are there, they can look around, and I usually give them handouts or something, to look at. But I want them to see that relationship, A, and B, I want to start connecting with that child. I want to start building a relationship with that child if they're going to be in my program. So that's how I kind of show it to the parents. I think you can't really tell them, I'm going to have a great relationship with your child. I really like to just say to them, okay, here's your packet. It's nice to meet you. Look around and let me play with your child for a little bit. So I don't have a favorite necessarily, Reggio or Waldorf or Montessori. So I'm sorry, Brianna. The comments are scrolling by faster than I could read them, which I guess is a good problem to have. So I don't really have a favorite curriculum. Like I said, I really think you can use any curriculum or any methodology, and if your relationship with those kids is solid, that you're loving and nurturing and responsive to their needs, I think you can pretty much make any program or any curriculum work for you. I think that the relationship that you have, the relationship that we have with our children, the love and nurturing that we show them, it's more important than any curriculum that you can choose. So thank you for joining me. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have fun playing and learning with your little ones, and I will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.